Hey everyone, chaomix here. At the time of making this video, we're actually at a pretty interesting point in the release cycle of the upcoming Sonic game. In case you've been living under a rock, a brand new game was recently teased with a short CGI trailer. Cool. And although we don't know much about this game yet, there has been a lot of online discourse discussing the future of this series. What'll this next game do? Will it be any good? Will Sonic finally be freed from his crippling loneliness from not being allowed to have any meaningful interactions from his friends? Wait, what? Sometimes these discussions can get pretty heated, with defenses and criticisms being thrown and smacked out of the way in all different directions. It's all too predictable. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this image making its way around online. Oh god, no, not that one. Tony, put up the picture I gave you. No, I put it in the flash drive I gave you earlier. What do you mean you must have mixed it up? I'm so sorry, I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, what, we got it? Hey everyone, chaomix here, and this is the Sonic Cycle, a graphic that neatly lays out the predictable and repeated waves that Sonic fans go through with each new game's release. Let's hunker down and see what we got here. The first step of this cycle is the initial reveal of information. It notes a lack of friend characters, fans getting their hopes up, and believing the new game to be Sonic's grand comeback. The next step is the reveal of additional game information. This can be screenshots of the main cast and gameplay showcases. It all usually ends in disappointment. The final step is the actual release of the game. Reviews are bad, fans are disappointed, and promises are made to never fall for the Sonic cycle again. Until that is, a new game is announced and we rinse and repeat. Every single time. It's pretty relatable, I'd say. I can think of a few games off the top of my head that I've experienced this exact roller coaster ride for. Well, that was the Sonic cycle. Thanks for watching. Hold on, wait a second. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this Sonic cycle might not be all that accurate. For instance, this cycle kind of assumes that every Sonic game is bad. I mean, they're not wrong, hey-o! No, but despite what some people may tell you, there are good Sonic games out there. This is something the cycle doesn't account for. Actually, there's a lot of things the cycle doesn't account for. How about the fans who defend the games before release despite it looking terrible? How about when the game is a pleasant surprise and people have a huge change of heart? How about the nuclear warfare that happens on Twitter when debating what even makes a good Sonic game in the first place? I think we can make something more accurate. Something that accounts for all of the prominent yet still predictable patterns that happen during the release cycle of a Sonic game. I do like the simplicity of this original Sonic cycle. So my goal here is to make something that can apply to any outcome of Sonic game while staying as concise as possible. Today we'll be making our own Sonic cycle. One that hopefully is more universal, timeless, and isn't used as ammunition against the Sonic community. So let's see what we can come up with. This video is proudly sponsored by Skillshare. When making things like, for instance, the graphic for the new Sonic cycle, I like to use the graphic design program of my choice. But man, I'd be lying if I said learning these types of programs was easy, especially when trying to do it on your own. Luckily for us, Skillshare exists to help ease us in and show us the ropes for these exact types of things, and more. With Skillshare, you can explore among thousands of online classes to discover countless amounts of video lessons for all types of learners. New videos are being added all the time, and there are no ads to distract you from focusing on whatever new skill you're trying to learn. Whether you're a pro, a dabbler, or even a complete beginner, Skillshare offers so many amazing classes that can fit your needs. Like this one by Aaron Draplin, going over 21 tips for speeding up your design workflow. The first 1,000 people who use the link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial to Skillshare Premium. So if you're curious to see what Skillshare is all about, give it a chance here. Take your creativity to the next level with Skillshare today. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and with all that being said, let's finally get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. So let's get to making this new Sonic cycle. A few things to note. Some aspects of the cycle are going to be pretty generalized, so the following might not always be the case. However, I still think this cycle should be able to account for almost all scenarios. Also, to help demo the Sonic cycle in action, I brought a few friends along to play some characters. These characters depict the 3 types of people that I believe make up the discourse surrounding each new Sonic game. First, you have the positive fans. These fans usually enjoy the most recent games. Especially because the series is going the way they want it to go, they're very optimistic. And if the series has been consistent, they usually feel very assured that all will be well. The positive fans tend to be a bit younger and newer to the series, and because of this, they're mostly unaware of the Sonic cycle, and easily play their part in it without even realizing. Since they can be a bit naive, they may not be able to pick up on certain patterns as easily during the pre-release phase. Next, we have the negative fans. These fans have quote-unquote quit the Sonic series, sometimes on several separate occasions, but always seem to come back whenever a new game is announced, hoping for Sonic to make his grand comeback. This is due to the recent games just not going in the direction they've been wanting it to go. Because of this, they have a hard time being optimistic. And who can blame them? What they've come to know as Sonic has changed so many times during their time with the series. The negative fans tend to be older and more longtime fans, which means they should be familiar with the Sonic cycle, but you'd be surprised how unaware they can be that they're actually participating and playing exactly into it. And finally, you have the wild cards. The wild cards are just that, wild and unpredictable. At some point or another, they've played a Sonic game or two. However, they usually haven't played entirely through one in a while. Because of this, their opinions go off memory and they can be a bit uninformed. These opinions can range from literally anything and may or may not stir up hardcore fans of the series. But if so, it leads to pure chaos. These three types of fans each look forward to receiving new Sonic games with their own ideal version of Sonic. We'll be acting out the opinions of these fans and greatly exaggerating their mindsets for the sake of comedy. So don't worry, these are not our actual opinions. It had to be said. So with all of our key players introduced, let's finally dive into the first step of the new Sonic cycle. Step 1. The game is announced. This usually involves a short teaser trailer of some sorts, and a lot of the times we don't even get to see gameplay. However, there are small breadcrumbs in the trailer that may hint towards things like plot, tone, or even gameplay mechanics. Similar to what we got recently with the Sonic 2022 teaser, there may not be a whole lot to go off of. And because of this, fans are left to purely speculate. This leads to a lot of assumptions, and our past experiences play a big role in what we might take away from this initial announcement.
Boy oh boy, I'm sure excited for this new Sonic game. I just know it's gonna be great, especially if it's like what they've been doing recently. And the best part is that they'll definitely use their experience from previous games to improve this one.
I don't know. I feel like Sega needs to earn our trust back, especially after that last game. The issue is that Sega just never learns from their mistakes, so I'm not getting my hopes up. Hey, I know I said I was done with the series after that last game, but if they screw this next one up, I swear I'll actually leave this time. Like, actually.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, by the way, did you hear that there's some new Sonic game coming out? Right? Yeah, like, as long as there's no werehog or sword, am I right? Oh man. Wait, so do people even like those games?
Step 2. Pre-release fan discourse. Fun fact, at the time of recording this video, we are here in the Sonic cycle. Fan discourse isn't exclusive to just this point. In fact, it occurs over the entirety of the Sonic cycle. But in my opinion, it's always the loudest here simply because we don't have a lot to go off of this early on. A lot is left to the imagination of the fans of what the upcoming game will be, with each group hoping that it fulfills their vision of what a Sonic game is supposed to be. Again, because it's so early on, fans are eager to have their voices heard by Sega in hopes that their feedback is listened to. Fans with different views will fight about what the correct direction for the Sonic series to take is, and try to make their voices the loudest. Especially since we don't know much about the upcoming game, our opinions can be uninformed and cause a lot of needless arguing amongst fellow fans. Criticisms may feel like personal attacks to some, while others may jump the gun and assume the worst. Some people just want to be hyped about the game, but others can't help but express their concern.
We should just be grateful that we're finally getting something new. I swear, the fans that are complaining are so entitled. They're only angry because they're worried it won't be one of those Sonic games. They're just nostalgia blind.
How can you enjoy any of those recent games? Don't you see that they're ruining the series? And this game is going to turn out just as awful as the recent one, so you honestly shouldn't be so excited about it.
Sonic was never good. Sad.
get the heck out
You're
of here.
being so
Who even
entitled.
are you?
No, you're
Seriously,
both
Jack,
wrong.
you
Sonic
bring
was
it down.
never good.
You
Look
bring
at me.
it
I'm
down.
right.
And
You're
you bring
wrong.
it down
My
right
opinion is
here.
correct.
Sonic
I got
opinions
cookies.
are
Step 3. Game details revealed. Eventually, we get more information on the game. Screenshots, character reveals, and gameplay all get shown off throughout the rest of the pre-release cycle. And after all that, most fans have solidified their feelings about the new game. Fan discourse continues obviously, but this time being a lot more informed since we know much more about the game. We get a good feel for the story premise, the tone, and the style of gameplay, but it's worth noting that it can't always be trusted from the trailers. Fans react to this in their own varying degrees of skepticism.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is it. This is it.
Great, it's another one of those games, isn't it? What they were doing before was so much better. An interesting point to note, depending on whose ideal version of Sonic is being catered to, alignments may actually shift. For example, fans who were once negative may now become positive, and vice versa. This can technically happen at any point in the cycle, but I think it's most likely at two specific points, this being one of them. Yes, 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 let's go! Sonic is back, baby!
Great. It's one of those games. What they were doing before was just so much better. I quit Sonic. I quit Sonic. I quit Sonic. I'm quitting.
What the heck is even happening?
Step 4. The game releases. Despite all of the blood, sweat, and tears from arguing, Sonic fans all buy the new game. Because of this, sales do amazing, and Sega considers the game to be a success, regardless of its reception. Naturally, fans play the game and begin to form their initial opinions. The game may turn out as expected, or not as expected, which can be good or bad. This is the second specific point where alignments may shift. Alright, the time to finally play this game is here, let's try it.
Fine. Let's give this game a shot. Huh. I know it's one of those games, but it actually isn't that bad.
Well, it's not a full price game and there's nothing else to play. I used to play Sonic back in the day. I mean, I'll guess I'll get it. Why not?
What have you done to Sonic? I'll never forgive you for this.
I wasn't paying attention! Oh my god! Ah!
Step 5. Post-release aftermath. This is the point where most fans have finished the game and begin discussing their final opinions amongst each other. It's important to note that the hype really dies down here and opinions tend to be a lot more thought out rather than being driven purely by emotion. Yeah, step 1 is pretty brutal with that. You'll also find people who are really insecure about being wrong that double or even triple down on their opinion of the game. This goes for both sides. Some people don't want to admit that they were wrong and the game was bad, and conversely, some people don't want to admit that they were wrong and the game was good, all because they don't want to be caught in that inevitable "I told you so" moment. So why do you like this game so much? It absolutely sucked. Literally give me one good reason.
Well, the graphics and the OST is good, and
Okay, that's great and all, but you can get that from every other game. What does this game have to offer?
the UI is fantastic.
I told you Sonic fans this would happen. Why do you keep buying these games? You guys are so pathetic. I could explain. Cover it.
Step 6. The wait for the next game. This is by far the longest period in the Sonic cycle. It's here that fans are left to their own devices to reflect on what makes Sonic so great. And not so great. The latest game is often used as a base for what the next game should improve on or change. What's most interesting about this period of time is that we see lots of changing opinions on specific Sonic games. The key ingredient being time. First, we see a lot of newfound respect for games that were once deemed bad. This respect almost always comes from people who grew up with these games, who are finally old enough and can now finally participate in online discourse and vouch for them. But on the other hand, we also see the opposite. Games that were once praised become bad. This usually comes from people enjoying different iterations of Sonic, finally going back to play and give their opinions on them. I got all this time on my hands now. I should probably try that weird Sonic spin-off game I haven't tried before. Let's see. Ooh, maybe this one? Sonic at the DMV. Could be cool, right?
Come closer. Listen to my final words. Maybe Sonic Forces wasn't so good after all.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Sonic Forces is an underappreciated gem.
And the cycle rinses and repeats into infinity. After personally being a part of this cycle a few times, and hopefully by seeing it reenacted, there's a few takeaways I hope everyone remembers. First, there is no right or wrong side. As long as your criticism is constructive and you're being respectful when disagreeing with someone, you can take any stance you like. I often see people respond to any sort of criticism with, "Let people like things," but I think it's important to let people dislike things as well. In my opinion, it's important to have discourse from both sides, as long as it's respectful, of course. If only positive fans spoke out, nothing would change, including the bad aspects. But if only negative fans spoke out, Sonic Team would be so confused on what to do. At the end of the day, just don't go forcing people to change their opinions or insult them for disagreeing. The best thing to do in that case is to agree to disagree. And finally, it's okay to change your stance on certain games, whether that be right after playing it or even taking 10 years to finally reflect on it. Don't be afraid or ashamed to have a change of heart. I have plenty of Sonic games that have personally grown on me. I hope this new Sonic cycle can be used to more accurately represent what goes on during the events of a new Sonic game. Being conscious of it definitely helps when not knowing what to expect with the new Sonic game. And hopefully it gives some insight on where certain people may be coming from when judging a Sonic game. The Sonic fandom is pretty complex when it comes to all the different opinions being passed around on a daily basis, but that's what makes it so cool. Hey everyone, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Huge thank you to both Evan and Sam for helping out with this video. They both helped out a lot with the scripting process of this video, so go over and show both of them some love. If you like what you saw, make sure to leave a fat like and subscribe for more Sonic content similar to this. In the comments below, let me know what you think of this new Sonic cycle. And to take that discussion even deeper, make sure to join our community Discord. I'll leave the link to that in the description. And finally, huge shout out to my amazing channel backers. You all are my #1 motivators and the biggest reason I'm able to keep doing this YouTube thing on a weekly basis. If you're also interested in directly supporting this channel for only $2 along with getting some pretty cool perks, press the join button beneath this video or go to the video description and press the channel membership link. And with all that being said, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Peace.